I was trying to make reviews without the fan going, but it's too hot. But here's a review of the Glidr Bermuda. The Bermuda is a knife made by Glidr Co., known for their Arctic and Antarctic. But the Bermuda was a single run Balisong that they made, trying to be a budget Balisong at $60. However, due to manufacturing issues, they all, I guess, got blemished, and so they sold them at a loss for $45. Took a huge financial hit to my knowledge, and so they never made them again. Now the Bermuda is a funky little dude, and by a little dude I mean it's actually a big boy because it's steel liners with G10 and a steel blade. Now normally there's no insert, and yeah, it's very handle bias. It's bearings, sitting at like 5.1 ounces bearings, and handle, like, really handle bias. But it's a funky fun person. Now that said, I also want to talk about the Zippy mods, because as you can see here, I have the blade insert, but I have no ball bearings. And you might be thinking, Chell, why do you have no ball bearings on your super handle bias knife? And the reason is because Zippy also makes spacers, and these are, in my opinion, the more important mod. These are great. This is great. Don't get me wrong. This is excellent. And it looks nice. I have mine in here for aesthetic. But the spacers are where it's at. Now, these two shave off 0.11 ounces. And that might not seem like a lot, but when it's all at the end, it actually is a significant difference. Like, the Koenig has, like, screws that go on the bottom, and they're like this big, twice as big, and 3 times as big, and that's like, it's probably less than 0.1 ounces, and that's noticeable. So imagine having a tenth of an ounce shaved off, and it makes this much less handle bias. Golly gee, this is a fun knife. And even if you flip it stock, now it's not for everyone, but I do think that there's merits to flipping it stock, and I actually have no qualms against this. I also flipped, I had another one that I ended up trading that I flipped with all the ball bearings and stock spacers. And it's obviously heavier. That's probably going to be like 5.3 as a guess, 5.3 ounces or something like that. I don't know. It's on Zippy's website. And it makes it more balanced. And it still feels like the Bermuda, but I ended up shaving weight, so now this is probably closer to 5 ounces, and it feels way more neutral and agile, and it's a fun, funky flipper. Now, I will admit I've been hiding something from you, because I did drop it recently, actually, and I was like, wow, one drop and it's already scuffed. So here's what I have to hide. This. What is that? It's epoxy. The hardware on the Bermuda is garbage. It's terrible. I wholeheartedly think that the stock hardware is just bad. And I'm sorry, Glidr. I actually have to thank the Glidr customer service, because they gave me a bag of replacement hardware for free, despite me not buying it from them. I bought it secondhand because it was already no longer in production by the time I started flipping Balisongs. Whoever is the community customer service person, at least through Instagram, for Glidr, big shout out to them. I'm very happy with the customer support. The hardware, though, is bad, and I replaced most of it with the new hardware because I couldn't get it all off. For one, as I always complain about, the pivots don't have screw heads, and so when I was unscrewing these T8 pivots, the whole thing rotated. It wasn't stuck, it wasn't stripped, it was free spinning, and it's bearings, so I don't know if that made it worse, but These in here are not terrible to remove, but they're still T8 and they're still able to strip. But this in here is still the stock screw. I couldn't get it out. My dad and I drilled through some screws, and we managed to get some things out, and we never were able to get this one out. We couldn't. We just couldn't. It's stuck. It's so stuck. And it was heartbreaking. And now I have this sad, somewhat ruined-looking Bermuda, and I could try and dye it. I also tried to boil my Bermuda, the pivots, to loosen them up, and it was boiling at, like, I had it in a cup of boiling, like, water, and so then it was discolored. It actually disappeared. I thought it was gonna stay like that forever, but it did disappear, which is cool. It just took a while, and so that was awkward. And apparently, you have to get it to a high enough temperature to break any thread lock that's higher than boiling water. Oops. I don't even know if it was thread locked. It was free spinning. So I just want to say that while the Zippy spacers are so worth it, and in my opinion are just really great, and it's good mod, great mod. The hardware is so bad, so you have to be careful. And hopefully you can remove your screws without stripping them. And I was lucky because I had spare screws to replace them with. And even still, I could not win against them all. But Bermuda, for being such an inexpensive flipper, you can find one on the secondhand market for as low as $30 I've seen. And sometimes more, like $70. And because it's G10, if you have the white one, which I almost never see the white Bermudas, but if you have a white one, you can dye the scales. Mine is red. I got the pink, like a cherry pink. And I have a pink and a blue spacer, kind of make it like a blue and pink cherry flavor kind of Balisong. And the G10 feels nice. It's smooth. It's, I don't know about grippy, but it's smooth and it's comfortable. And the bearings do give this the agility. Not everyone likes bearings, but it has the momentum that a heavier Balisong might need. Sometimes I feel like the liners can be a little rough against your hands when you're like really pressing into it, but it's not that bad. And the nipple it's quite rounded. I don't think I've been pinched by it too. Like I feel like I have to try to get pinched by it. It's not too bad though. I found the Mako to be much more uncomfortable with pinching. But yeah, I think this is a fun knife, and if you can find one in the secondhand market, it's very unique. And if you like unique, if you like a variety of things, this is hardly a what is the word? It's hardly a financial commitment compared to other Balisongs, most of which are over $100. Like $100 is a budget Balisong. So if you can get one of these for 50 or less bucks, again, I've seen one for 30. I say go for it. If you're looking to experiment, I would not recommend this to be the first Balisong that people try, or at least like it's hardly a core Balisong flipping experience. But especially with the Glidr mod or with the Zippy mods, it makes this really enjoyable, and you get the freedom of doing the stock version, or really easy to insert and remove the blade inserts. The spacers is a much more work, much more arduous journey. But at the very least, you can get one of these, and it's not too expensive. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel. I am doing daily uploads. I have so many videos already queued up. And check out my coffee, which is in the video description. I cannot do a Patreon, but for less than a month worth of Patreon, it helps me cover things like mods and upload videos, and cover shipping for when I trade knives and sell knives. So thanks, happy flipping, and if you have a Bermuda, let me know in the comments what you think, and I guess what your configuration is. So take care and happy flipping.